Hey guys, so I am going to be doing a makeup tutorial for the Joker, and we all know that there are a ton of different Jokers out there. I really like more of the classic comic Joker. I might update it a little bit to make it a little bit more unkept and dirtier and grungier, kind of like the Heath Ledger and the new Jared Leto. But I still really like the comic book, like with the big grin and, you know, the green hair and stuff like that. So I'm going to go more kind of on that thread of the Joker. I will be using a bunch of different face paints today. I have Wolfe, Diamond Effects, some Tag, Mehron, and I'm using water activated and powder. But as I go through, I'll tell you what products you can use to substitute that with. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to start out by using the Mehron Starblend in white. This is a powder makeup. So I'm just going to take a sponge here, pick some up, and just start applying this to the face. I like this over cream because the cream moves around a lot unless you set it. And this is just a lot more comfortable. When I do face painting for little kids, the boys typically don't like anything wet on their face, especially around their eyes. So I use the Starblends a lot on the younger boys. I don't know if that means that it's just kind of like in our DNA that women were used to putting stuff around our eyes. Go ahead and get your ears, get your neck. You don't have to worry about this being perfect because the Joker was kind of gross anyways, you know. He wasn't perfect, you know. He was kind of messy. Now you could get grease paint and go full on out with this if you want to. They have a lot of that at like Walmart, Walgreens, especially with Halloween right here. There we go. You could also just get a very light foundation or powder. There's a Ben Nye also makes a clown white powder if you go to a theater store, but a lot of times theater stores will also carry these. So okay, now we're going to go in and I'm going to start creating the eyebrows. You can use eyeliner for this. I did a look. I didn't do a tutorial on it, but I did a look on my Instagram, and it was kind of a mean face with a spider bite on it. And for that, I used eyeliners and eyeshadow. So you can totally do the same thing. You don't have to use face paints. And what you want to do is we're going to follow the beginning of your brow right there and go underneath it and then up to the top of your brow. Now, if you have straight brows, obviously you're going to have to put a curve in it. And I did not get a flat brush like I wanted to. So, let's see here. I'm going to use this smudge brush. You know, just a short, dense brush. And I'm going to just kind of bring this down. And like I said, we'll go in and do some more shading and stuff, but you don't have to worry about this being nice and neat right now. And we'll do the same thing on this side. This isn't wet or anything, you're just dry brushing this. Just to create shadow. See, it's already coming together. Okay, then we're gonna go in, and actually I'm not gonna do the black for this yet. I'm gonna get the brown. If you have a brown eyeliner, this will work. I will be using the, if I can find it, the Starblend, and it's Dark Egyptian is what this one's called. And I'm just gonna get a paintbrush, or if you have an eyeliner brush or whatever, and just pick some up. And I want to start placing the wrinkles and stuff. So if you want to make like a crazy face, feel free. You want to follow your natural wrinkles. Some people will have one in the center here. I don't really have one, but sometimes it looks good to have kind of that W right there. But we'll go in and place on here. And I might not use this because this is a really orangey brown. I didn't realize how. We'll blend it out. Not gonna worry about it. So I'll probably extend this guy right up there. Oops. So you can kind of scrunch up your nose like a mad bulldog here, and you'll get the lines coming across here. I gotta get a really deep one right there. That's funny. Ooh, after a while my face gets tired. Okay. And then go around your nose right here. And then we're not going to worry about the mouth because we're actually going to draw a mouth on. So you can get an eyeliner and an eyebrow pencil, and we're going to start to kind of shape where. You don't have to worry about the lips. We'll put the lips on a little bit later, but let's shape where. You know, it's kind of funny looking at the eyebrows. They kind of remind me of like the bat symbol. Does anybody else see that? And go up on the corners just a little bit. Like he has a evil smile here. And then down around. Don't worry about it being straight. It's okay if it's not. Okay, now, if he was smiling like this, the corner of the mouth would be filling up right here. Just like our nasolabial folds right there. And over here, like that. Okay, let's put some crow's feet in. I mean, I'm drawing these on because I don't have them or anything. I'm just putting them where I think crow's feet would go. Okay, so now we look like a complete mess. Let's go in and put some teeth on. Right there. This is the Diamond FX White. And I'm going to use just a, I don't know what size this is. It's a round brush. It's probably like a 9 or something. I don't know. It's pretty big. And we're going to pick up some white. I'm going to go in and add yellow and brown to shade and deepen the teeth some, but I like to start off with the white so they're not completely nasty. But you can always use something, eyebrow pencil, the grease paints to do this. This is a really good brush because I can just creates teeth really well. And just follow the line that we made to do your teeth. Always like you can use like your teeth, like smile and look at your teeth for reference. The Joker has, I have actually a picture of him back there, but he has pretty big teeth in the comic. I think in actually all of them, well maybe not Heath Ledger's. He has pretty big teeth. So don't be worried if they're like too big. Like I said, we're gonna go in and shade all this, so you're basically just putting this down for placement. Okay. So now we're gonna go in with, I have this tag, I think this is like pearl pink or something. Is this tag? Yeah. Face paint and this Wolfe FX red. And I'm gonna kind of mix these two together for the gums. I don't want them like super pink, but I want them to have a little bit more depth. Okay, I actually want these teeth to touch. I don't like that they have gaps, so. I'm gonna pull this down. I'll just fill that all in. Okay. So now I want to go in, I want to start shading the teeth before we put the lips on because the shading's going to go over where the lips are going to go over the shading and I don't want to put anything gross on the shading. So let me get a brush. I'll use this little guy. This is just like a cheapy, I don't know, little tiny brush. And I'm going to pick up some of that brown Starblend that we used for the wrinkles. and just kind of start tracing out the teeth now. I want to make sure I go around the top to add shading as well. Now you could get all the way on the lips with this if you wanted to, but most people are going to want to drink while they're at a party. So I think it's best if you just don't, because then it's going to get everywhere and kind of look messy. And then we can go in with, I'm going to go in with a little bit of yellow. Oh my gosh, that was cracked and that just fell all over my lap. This is a Starblend. And I'm just going to lightly kind of just so they're not like a crisp white color. Which is why I was saying you can go ahead and just put a yellow down if you want. But I kind of like the dimension of a little bit of white with the yellow. Oh my gosh, what a mess. With the yellow peeking through. But that's just preference. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do the lips, but then we're going to go back in and do a little bit more shading. So this is the, I think this is Wolfe red face paint. You could also use, for these, I pulled like a liquid lipstick. This is Solo and from ColourPop. Something like that to fill in the gums, and then maybe a red for the lips. Kind of follow your natural line of where you put the, or where we mapped out the mouth, and then you can go back and put a tiny, now this is, he's got a thin smile for the most part, I mean lips, but you do want a little bit of Cupid's bow and a little bit more volume, and kind of flick out the corners there. A little bit more volume on the top, on the bottom lip. You can kind of just go over the teeth a little bit, just like if you smile, and then you can kind of see like where your, how much of your gums show. Okay, so now let's go in, and you can use black eyeshadow for this. I'm using the Starblend in black, and smudge brush, some type of dense little brush, and we're gonna go in here and start shading and creating, you know, defining those brown lines we put down for the wrinkles. Now, if you want to, you could totally fill in the eyes and kind of go for that Heath Ledger like messy. Actually, I think the new Joker has that messy eye too. I'm not going to fill it in completely. He doesn't even really have any on there, but I kind of wanted, I didn't want it to do as clean as the comic book one. Kind of wanted to do a blend of all of them, you know? And you can start to kind of go into the socket of the eye here. And I'm just using a really light hand and going over these lines that we made. Now, if you want, you could totally go in and glue stick your brows down or use soap. A clear soap, not like a white bar soap, but like a clear bar, like a glycerin bar. Or you can use just like a kid's glue stick and put your brows down before you do this. And we're gonna blend these out and add some shadow to them in a little bit. The whole reason I did brown first is to kind of map out where I wanted them. This is pointed down a little too much for me. So we'll bring it straight across more like that. And then we're gonna start to make this three-dimensional and just put a curve on the back like the skin's being pulled up. Like that. Okay, now we're gonna go in with, I'm just gonna get a blending brush, fluffy little blending brush. Actually, this might be too big. Maybe I'll start off with a pencil brush. This is an Urban Decay one. It's actually called Urban Decay Blending Brush. And start to soften and add dimension to all of these lines. Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit of this brown. If you have a gray, I wish I would have brought my gray in here. You can use the gray, but I'm going to take a little bit of this brown, a little bit of the black, and kind of mix those up. And I'm going to start to go slightly underneath these forehead wrinkles to make it look like the light is from up here coming down on us. And then it'll soften it up and kind of blend it out. And you do not need a lot of this, guys. Like, actually, that's a little too much. This is just the sponge that I had that white on. I'm going to kind of soften that some, maybe. Now, I mean, keep in mind that this is a comic book character. Yeah, he was a man, but I think with comic book characters, it's okay to go a little, like the lines don't have, the wrinkles don't have to look like actual wrinkles because, I mean, it's a little okay to be exaggerated. And make sure you kind of smoke. You don't have just a straight line. Kind of use a blending brush to kind of smoke out the edges. So like this side, it just, the 3 lines, and then this side you kind of fill in, almost like a U in between, if that makes sense. Because you just want to defocus like a shadow would. Just like when you do like your contour, you don't put just a line on your face right there, you know, you blend it in. And make sure the smile lines go in an upward motion. It's okay if you have some going down. Oh, the dog's barking, cute. And then we're gonna really start to smoke this out. I want this to have a really good shadow here. Ooh, yeah. That's what I'm saying. This is why you can use eyeshadow or eyeliner. It's fine. Because it's gonna work the exact same way. We want to add depth, you know, like you have depth when you style here. I don't know if y'all can even see that with the makeup on, but go ahead and smile and look, and you'll have like a, like where it looks like it goes in right there. So we want the same thing. We want that to look like it's going in. And just really lightly connect. These are our new nasolabial folds to the new nostril, like up in that direction. I'm just going to use this fluffier blending brush and smoke that out a little bit. And we're going to go back in with some of this black and just keep building that depth. It's okay if you go over part of the mouth too, because when you smile, you know you have dimension. You'll have natural shadows, so. Kind of up and down on that nasolabial fold and then back over on this way, just so everything's really blended out. Uh-oh, someone's here. Someone is here. Come on in. Okay, and then we'll start to just do a really light shadow on the back side of this one. So it looks like this part's sticking up and out. Y'all see that? Now, if you want, you could just do the brows and not do as much shading and then do like some eyeliner or something there. But it's kind of up to you on how traditionally you want your Joker to go and how grungy you want it to go. Okay, so we're going to take this little slanted angled brush right here. And we're going to pick up some of this black powder and start to add a little bit more depth, a little bit more shadow. If you look at a picture of your teeth, you usually have the brightest part in the middle and then it's dark on the sides, especially the further back you go. So these we can kind of really get dark. So on the back ones, I'm focusing the shadow more on the back side of the tooth. be a really long video. And then you can focus it too, like around the lips, like the shadow on the top row and on the bottom side of the tooth on the bottom row. Now you could easily turn this into like a pretty, more of a girly one and not do the mouth at all and just put red lipstick on and flick the corners out. Okay, so I just lowered the camera some because I just uploaded some and I'm sitting there working on the teeth and realized you couldn't see what I was doing, so sorry about that. And I'm just taking the black and kind of putting it on the inside of my lips. That way if you drink something, it's not going to mess the teeth up, it'll just mess the shadow up. I'm just creating that shadow on the lips, underneath the lips. And then blending it out. Yeah, then you can just take a blending brush and just kind of buff all that out so they don't look, you don't have any like really rough lines, harsh lines. So this is going a lot grungier because I blend ridiculous amount than I originally anticipated, but I still kind of like it. I think I want a little bit more white under the eyes though. And I'm gonna go in with some white eyeliner. This is the NYX Milk liner, and then just kind of put it all over my lashes and my waterline. I think that makes you look a little bit more maniacal. Because I mean, after all, he was a psycho, so. Because like I said, like this does not have to be a clean, perfect makeup. And I'm not even going to go into as much detail and shading as I did on that one eyebrow I did on my Instagram. I am going to go in with a little bit more of this black face paint and kind of make a few more starker lines. Make sure you add curve to them or they're not just harsh straight lines. Just to kind of give it more of a comic book feel. I want the edges to, or you could just smudge it around and have an extra wrinkle there. I want them to be kind of soft edges, really gradual. It's like you barely want to touch on these. Like I don't want that one there. I don't like that line. And I'm kind of doing small flicks on this one. I'm just gonna go in where we put that black and just deepen this some. I kind of like the texture it gives on when it's hitting your lips on the lines, and a raggedy kind of like he hasn't taken care of his teeth. Almost like they need to be filed. Let's put in a new chin too, because we no longer have one. Oh, it has yellow on it. That's what I wanted. Smudge brush with, it probably has black and brown on it. Just gonna go above the line. And that Joker doesn't have a cleft chin. I don't know why. I'm gonna put a cleft chin in mine. I don't know why I envisioned the Joker with a cleft chin, but and there you have it. There is, oh, let's put some green in here real quick. I'm gonna use the Starblend powder because I don't have any green wig or green hairspray. So we'll just go in and you can put this all in your hair too. It's just a little time consuming. I'd probably get the spray. I'm not the biggest fan of the cheaper wigs, but I'm gonna pause this and come back with my hair fix. Sorry about that. Okay, so I put a little bit more green in my hair, and then I think if you have long hair, if you use something kind of like a Liberty roll on the top, this is really messy and it's being held up with a makeup brush. But if you kind of do, you know, just take this front section of hair and then spiral it down like a snail and then roll it down and then pin it, and then you could just spray it with the green and then slick the rest of it back. And I think that that would work pretty well. And then, you know, purple cardigan or blazer, even like just a purple ribbon. You could even put a purple ribbon in your hair if you want to make it more girly. Obviously I didn't go for girly. I like Halloween makeup that's, I don't know, I don't always like to want to be a sexy girly type thing. This is fun sometimes. So I hope whoever uses this for Halloween, I hope that this shows you how to do it well. You don't have any issues. If you do, message me down below. I'll help you guys out. Happy Halloween!